Чиевым. Попречки. Осторожно! Breakfast. I'm afraid there is no coffee, but perhaps some tea and bread. Brandy, then. A toast.
What to?
Whatever you most wish.
That's easy. To going home? It's nearly 2 decades ago now, the spring of 1960, when the Cold War was still on the verge of turning hot at any instant. The whole world was living in a kind of mutual terror, because everyone knew that a single mistake could reduce all of civilization to the ruins of Hiroshima. Then suddenly, there was hope for coexistence, détente, maybe even peace.
Gary, can't you just quit your job so we can go back home?
Honey, and do what? Where am I gonna make $30,000 a year back home? Huh? Working in the coal mines the way my father did? Anyway, there's nothing keeping you if you want to go on back.
Hello? What I really want is to be with you, but all the time.
Sure, I want that too. I really do. Honey, when this contract's up, I won't re-sign it, I promise.
You always promise me. I always believe you.
Why not? We're here. At least we're together. I mean, outside it can be Paris, any place you want.
San Francisco.
Okay, San Francisco. Yes. Yes, sir, I understand. It's a routine mission. Weather recon. Easy eyes.
You really like it up there? Off all by yourself. We can be alone.
It's my job.
How long are you going to be gone for this time?
When's the base party? May 1st? No sweat, I'll be back in plenty of time. I promise.
Bags are in the closet.
This where you can get at it. The needle's primed. It can be used as a weapon. There, let me. Any last questions?
One. What do I do if something goes wrong?
Nothing's gonna happen.
I said if.
All right, if by some fluke you happen to be captured alive, you're strictly on your own. All I can tell you is what I'd do myself. Tell them as little as you can, but as much as you have to. One way or another, they'll get it out of you anyway.
70,000 feet, you're better than 13 miles above the Earth. Nobody to talk to but yourself. Strapped into a suit, you can't eat or drink, or do anything else. But it's part of the training, and after a while you forget it. And all you're aware of is your own breathing. I was carrying only a few identification papers and personal items, plus the things in my survival pack. Gold rings, a silencer-attached .22 pistol, and a silver dollar with a curare-tipped needle hidden in it. Not that anybody said I should use it, or ever expected me to have to. It was almost 10:30. I'd been on automatic pilot since takeoff. But now I was starting over the Ural Mountains. Chelyabinsk. Then the rocket base at Sverdlovsk. I switched to manual, took a bearing, altered the heading slightly. Approximately 125 miles due south of Sverdlovsk, I turned on the cameras. A couple of buttons to push, and that was it. Then I switched on to automatic again and started to sit back. The pull of gravity was too great. I couldn't reach the destruct switch. Then suddenly I felt myself falling free.
You must be very, very lost.
Hey, take it easy, that's your skin.
Молчи!
I don't have anything. What do you want?
Спокойно не говори.
You are to remain silent until questioned. Do you understand?
Я думаю, что это американский доллар. You're American, yes?
Yes.
And what is it that you're doing here?
I don't know. I got lost.
For what purpose is it that you have come? Who sent you?
Look, no one. I told you I got lost. Look, I must have blacked out. I got dizzy, unconscious.
You will answer. What is it that you are doing here?
I don't even know where I am.
Who sent you?
No, son, put that... Story! Okay, coins. It's a lucky piece. Explain to him it's a good luck charm.
Он говорит, что это его амулет, счастливая монета.
I don't care about the rest of the things, please.
Он говорит, что остальное его не интересует, только эта монета.
Everything will be examined by the proper authorities. Now we go.
Where?
I was flown to Moscow. It took 3 hours. I was given a haircut and a suit of clothes. I didn't know where I was going or why, until suddenly I realized I'd been brought to the secret police headquarters. I don't know what I expected. Cell, I guess. But it wasn't anything like I was prepared for. And in a way, that made it worse.
I want to see someone from the United States Embassy.
Oh, that is not permitted.
All right, the International Red Cross, then.
Not permitted.
Look, I don't know what this is all about. I was flying back to Turkey from Pakistan on a routine weather reconnaissance. My compass was off. I must have taken the wrong heading and somehow turned north over Russia.
Sit down. You will sit down. Your poison needle was tested on a dog. It died in exactly 7 seconds, quite painlessly. No doubt your superiors assured you of that?
No, my so-called superiors didn't assure me of anything.
But they did order you to use the needle before you were captured?
No.
Oh. Well, surely they expected you to use it.
Only if I was being tortured and couldn't stand it.
Здравствуй. Надо кушать, заболеешь.
Wait a minute, please. Do you understand English?
Yes?
My government, the American Embassy, do they know? Did they send someone here to see me? I have the right to see someone from the American Embassy.
Right, but you're not a guest here. You're a prisoner, an enemy of the Soviet people. Come along now. It's time again, Lieutenant.
Look, I'm not a lieutenant of anything. I'm a civilian, can't you understand that? I want to see somebody from the American Embassy. Do they know I'm here? Does anybody know I'm here?
We know you're here. That's quite enough for now.
What is this device? It was taken from your plane.
I don't know. I'm a civilian pilot. I work for Lockheed Aircraft on weather reconnaissance.
No more lies. Is this plane to carry an atomic bomb?
Oh, that's crazy. Your own Air Force men will tell you that.
Oh, no, you will tell me. You are a spy. You're worse even than the Nazis. You deserve nothing but to be tried and shot.
All right, try me then. That's what they do in my country.
Vasily. He's simply tired and somewhat confused. Maybe a cigarette. We have some Americans. Here, please. You must try to answer all questions that are put to you. It's your only chance for survival. Your primary mission was to photograph our rocket base in Sverdlovsk. We know that already. You may as well admit it. We have proof. Now, you will tell us everything about your espionage mission.
If you have that, you have it all by now.
President Eisenhower announced this afternoon that the United States would immediately resume nuclear testing devices. The president said that he did not expect the test to affect the coming summit meeting in any way. And a high-level source in the Pentagon intimated that radio intercepts from the high-altitude U-2 plane proved that it was not shot down, as claimed by Premier Khrushchev, but rather crashed as a result of mechanical malfunction. Today, the State Department identified the U-2 pilot, captured by the Russians, as Francis Gary Powers, said to be an employee of the Lockheed Corporation.
Well, I do know my son Francis, and I know that ever since he was just a little old kid, all he wanted to do was fly. That's all he wanted, and that's all he did. He's a good boy, and he ain't the kind to go around getting into politicking and spying and stuff like that. No, he sure don't belong in no prison.
Mrs. Powers? I'm James Kelman, Public Relations with Nassau.
Yeah.
Let me get you back.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. Here. Look, I have been shifted from plane to plane. I haven't heard a radio. I haven't seen a
Mrs.
newspaper.
Powers, I'm sure you're very tired and distressed, of course. Naturally, our agency would like to do everything possible. I've got to rent a car outside.
But what about Gary? Are they still searching for him?
That's really not my department. I'm just with Public Relations. But I'm sure that one of the top agency officials will be in contact with you, okay? This way. What's wrong?
It's Saturday here, isn't it? I just realized tomorrow is Sunday. It's Mother's Day. I've got to buy my mother something.
Mrs. Powers. Mrs. Powers.
Oh, my God.
Your mother's waiting for you in Midfield. We'll explain it to you on the way in the car, all right? Come on. Come on, it'll be all right. We'll explain it to you all in the car. This way. The car's right around here, Mrs. Powers.
You will sign the transcription of your interrogation.
No, I won't sign. I'm not signing anything until I know that somebody in America knows I'm here.
Everyone in America knows that you're here. Your picture is in all of their newspapers. Even your president has finally admitted that you're a spy.
Your generals cannot admit that our rockets can shoot down any plane. Then they would lose the imperialistic profits from their bombers.
Oh, you could have printed that paper right here in Moscow, just to fool me. The whole thing is probably fake.
Even your father? Please.
That's my dad. That's exactly what he'd do. That's his shop where this picture was taken. That was his one big dream, to save all his money from the mines and open up his own business.
Oh, I know. I too was a prisoner once at Kharkov. I was captured by the Nazis. I escaped, but still, huh? Come on. I'm coming. Today is to be a special occasion.
What?
You will sign.
This newsreel film of the reassembled U-2 plane, which the White House now admits was sent on an espionage mission over Russia, was released today by the Soviet government.
My name is Mikhail Grinev. I've been appointed by the Supreme Soviet Court to be your defense counsel.
I asked for an American lawyer.
That is not possible. Your treatment has been satisfactory?
Yeah, it's better. They moved me to the top floor anyway.
Excellent, excellent. Now, our time is limited and we must proceed. I, of course, have been studying the documents in preparation for the trial. Please.
What do you think my chances are?
That depends entirely upon your attitude. In court, you must always show your sincere repentance. That is your only hope. That is your only defense. However, you are very fortunate. Recent revisions in Soviet criminal law have reduced the penalty for espionage from 25 years imprisonment with death in some cases to a maximum of 15 years imprisonment with death in some cases. Please.
But always, death in some cases.
That depends entirely upon the nature of the criminal act involved and the intent. You must convince the judges that you are now truly and sincerely repentant. It is essential. Do you understand?
Suppose I don't testify. Suppose I plead guilty and let the court sentence me.
That is not possible under Soviet law. You must understand. The trial is to be open. Members of the press from all over the world will be in attendance. Therefore, your testimony must be full, complete, and correct. Do you understand? No. You must answer me directly. Do you understand what I have just explained to you?
Yes, I understand, okay?
Excellent. Then I can inform you that your parents and your wife also are here in a residence in the capital. As for talking to them, that depends upon the decision of other authorities and upon certain other factors. But, of course, you will see them.
When?
Your trial begins Wednesday. Your parents and your wife will be allowed to attend.
Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday. Why, there is something in that you find humorous?
What's funny is Wednesday's my birthday. That's some present, isn't it? The trial began on August 17th, 1960, in the Hall of Columns, the same place Stalin held the purge trials in the 30s. Maybe because, like them, mine was to be a show trial too, with cameras recording it all and correspondents and photographers there from all over the world. Of course, it was the United States that was really on trial. I was just there as a handy symbol.
Accused Powers, do you plead guilty of the charge of espionage?
Yes, I plead guilty.
Lost. All alone.
You've stated here.
He's just fooling him. He'll be all right. You see.
And do you also admit that this act of espionage was undertaken at the direct orders of your superiors in the American Central Intelligence Agency?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you sure that's your husband?
Yes, of course.
Are you absolutely and completely certain? I mean, is there the slightest possibility it could be a double? Yes.
Yes. And you, Defendant Powers, were trained enough to know that such equipment is designated for special spying flights.
I didn't know anything directly about the equipment before I was captured.
Yes, but you were sufficiently informed that this flight had espionage aims.
I must have assumed that. I'd like to ask that the lights of the cameras be taken away. They're blinding my eyes.
You switched the equipment in the plane on and off at definite points.
I did what the charts indicated.
Yes, and all that time not knowing what that special apparatus was.
I never saw the apparatus.
And yet, with the same ease, you could have pulled a switch and dropped an atomic bomb.
I suppose that could have been done, but not in the type of plane I was flying.
Well, then it's all a mere technical matter, isn't it? By the defendant's own admission, he has invaded the peaceful territory of the Soviet Union, and it is just as clear that those who ordered such an act would have no compunction about dropping an atomic bomb on the peaceful inhabitants beneath that invading plane.
And are you now sincerely sorry for your criminal act of espionage?
Yes, I am.
Why are you sorry now?
I haven't heard much about the news of the world since I've been here. But I understand as a direct result of my flight, the summit conference didn't take place. And President Eisenhower's visit to Russia was called off. I guess there was a pretty big increase in tension in the world because of what happened. And I am, excuse me, I am sincerely sorry if I had anything to do with that.
And have all your statements till now been truthful?
Yes. Since there is all the evidence, it would be impossible for me to deny what I've done.
The defense will have no further questions to present. If you wish to rest, it is always provided for the accused by law. Now, I believe our defense has proceeded very well. Very well. But now the most crucial moment in the trial has arrived.
My wife and parents get the messages I sent them?
Oh, yes, they have been transmitted, and the fact that you are well, in excellent spirits. In fact, they each brought presents for your birthday.
Where?
Unfortunately, they are being held for inspection, but briefly.
Oh, hell, they're just birthday presents. I mean, what do you expect in them? A bomb? A hacksaw? Secret messages?
Isn't that possible? Will not the same precautions be taken by your country, especially in a case of espionage?
Yeah.
Now, I have prepared a proper statement for you. You will memorize it very carefully and very correctly.
And further, I now desire that the Soviet people should know that I deeply regret and personally repudiate the aggressive, war-making designs of the United States.
Good, very good.
No.
You do not understand. You must make this statement, precisely this statement.
No.
Why?
Because I'm on trial as a spy. I'm not a defector.
Yes, and as a spy, you still face the possibility of execution. It is essential that you make a very personal appeal to the court.
No, not this.
Perhaps in other words, then. I know. If you could say something about being deceived by your war-crazed superiors. Now, I must caution you again. It is in the discretion of the judges to condemn you to execution. Surely you cannot find that so humorous.
You know, for once you're right. There's nothing funny about this situation at all.
Defendant Powers, for whose crimes the American Intelligence Service paid so generously, is not a mere spy, but a specially and carefully trained criminal. His defense counsel has attempted to claim that he was merely a pawn set in motion by the insane aggressions of his bosses. Well, that is only half-truth. It is the so-called pawns, such as Defendant Powers, who would willingly and consciously destroy the Soviet Union and its peoples with the use of nuclear bombs. He is a criminal.
That's not true.
And he must be punished.
He never hurt anybody.
Comrade judges, I ask that you render a verdict of guilty.
Accused Powers, do you now desire to make a plea to the court?
Yes. I ask the court to judge me as a human being who is not a personal enemy of the Russian people and who is deeply repentant and profoundly sorry for what he has done.
That is all.
Yes, sir.
Prayed for him. I prayed so hard.
I did too.
You know, from what I've seen around here, prayers aren't going to do us much good. What did that pipsqueak of a government man have to say to you?
He said, that he thought Gary would get a light sentence, and this whole thing was just a formality.
Well, I hope he knows more than most of them.
The defendant Powers, an admitted secret agent of the United States Central Intelligence Agency, has willfully and knowingly committed acts of espionage against the Soviet people. Therefore, the accused Powers is adjudged guilty. However, weighing all the circumstances of the given case and taking especially into account the defendant's sincere confession of his guilt and his sincere repentance, and proceeding from the principles of socialist humaneness, the court sentences the defendant to 10 years of confinement. What about you?
Well, it could have been worse.
I know.
You outsmarted them. That's the way I got it figured. Wait till you get home. Your ma is gonna cook you a real dinner. With all the trimmings, ain't that right, Ida? She's gonna cook you chicken and ham and biscuits and just wait.
Sounds great, Dad. I guess it's gonna be a while. 10 years.
Oh, don't you believe it? There's gotta be a way. I'm gonna get you out of this country. I'm gonna get you home.
How, Dad? Whole American government couldn't.
Well, I'll go see Khrushchev. I'll go see Eisenhower. By God, I'll go see anybody can help. I'm telling you, someday, some way, I'm gonna get you home.
Boy.
Love you all.
My boy.
Look, the trial is over. Why are you taking me back upstairs? Are you going to start questioning me all over again? Is that it?
No. You are to be transferred. You are a political prisoner. There's special rules. You have 1 hour. 1 hour.
Dead in 10 years. I could be dead in 10 years.
Don't think about 10 years. Think about 1 hour. 1 hour. I was transferred to Vladimir Prison on September 9th, 1960. But as a political prisoner, I would not be allowed to do any work. The Russians considered that punishment, and they were right.
You do not remember me, eh?
Oh, yeah. More questions?
Oh, no. Simply a matter of routine in certain political cases. You seem well.
I'm okay, I guess.
You have no particular requests?
Yeah, I'd like to get out.
Of course.
What's going on? We keep circling around. Where are you taking me? Now? Is it okay now? Is it all set?
Fortunately, there is a slight problem. You must be patient.
Maybe they think it's some kind of a trick. Maybe if I just went to the middle of the bridge, then they could take a look at me. Then they know it was me.
Not yet. For now, all we can do is just wait.
Damn it, I didn't come this close. I didn't come all the way from that prison just to stand here and wait.
My dear friend, it is a long trip from Vladimir to here. It could be a much longer, much harder journey from here back to Vladimir.
Just wish I knew whether the hang-up's on their side or on ours. Fletcher, it's time you examine the merchandise. Make sure we're getting everything we paid for. Sergeant!
Good to see you. You do know who I am, don't you? Sure. You're Jensen. No, I took Jensen's place when he was transferred. I must have just got the names confused, that's all. You played football in high school. Yeah. What was the name of your coach? My coach? I don't remember his name. But I know his name. I just can't remember it. Look, my wife's name is Barbara. My mother's name is Ida. When I was a kid, I had a dog. He was part collie, part chow. His name was Samson. My coach, we just called him Coach. Look, ask me a name, any other name. Any name, please. Okay. I believe you. You're Francis Gary Powers. Boy, for a minute there, I thought I'd blown the whole thing. I thought I wasn't going to get to go on across with you. Well, you're not. Not just yet. There's still a hang-up. Look, I don't care what kind of hang-up there is. No matter what, I'm not going to let him take me back. I'll make a run for it. I'll dive in the river and try swimming if I have to. You wouldn't get 3 steps before they cut you down. Now, you'd better just hang in, stay cool, and hope.
You passed the test? I merely greeted an old acquaintance. Ah, it shouldn't be too long. At least now we know what the hang-up is. The East Germans are digging in their heels about handing Pryor over to us. Now, it'll all work out if the Russians put a little heat on them.
If? Not quite yet. But perhaps soon. Very soon.
I'll believe it when it happens.
Got it. It just came through. In code and confirmed. Pryor just crossed through checkpoint Charlie.
Good. Thanks, Major. Sergeant.
Colonel.
Thank you, Mr. Donovan.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Well, I will not say goodbye. But in case you plan to drop in on us again, come as a friend.
This time I'll come as a tourist.
Fine. As a tourist and a friend. До свидания.